Hi, today I'm going to be showing you how to create a calculator in Visual Basic. So this isn't that hard because there are many codes and many buttons, but I'm going to be explaining each and every one of them. So this is what the finished product is supposed to look like. Okay, so let's get started. So to start, you have to create a new project. And to create a new project, go to File, press New Project, and select Windows Forms Application. Then OK. Okay, so now we have our form here. And we have to make it a little bit bigger, and now we have to add the buttons and the text box. So we'll only need one text box, which is this. Drag it or double click it, it works either way. I'll just delete that. I just need one text box. And 18 buttons. So we're gonna need 18 buttons. And I'm gonna try to make it into a square shape, just to actually match an actual calculator. You can just copy and paste that so that you don't have to repeat it every single time. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16, and 2 buttons here, but it will be separated a little bit. Let me just fix that. There we go. Alright, so after putting all the buttons in the text box, next thing you have to do is change the name of each button to the according number and the according mathematical symbol. So we'll have to change this from we'll change this to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the mathematical symbols here. So I'll just cut to a part when I'm done with all of that. Oh, and to change it, you have to scroll down here in the properties and change the text. The text will change what's shown here. Okay. And there's the numbers. And there, now we're all done with the buttons and the text box. So now we have to get into the code. To begin, we need to be able to see a 0 here when we start our program. Okay, so this is what we have. You don't see a 0, and usually with calculators there's a 0 here at the beginning, and the buttons don't work. So now we have to put a function to them. To begin, so that we could see a 0 here in the text box, click on the form. Just click on the space of the form, not on any of the buttons or the text box. And then write text box1 dot text. Sorry, my laptop's a bit slow. Yeah, textbox1 dot text, because that is this text box, that's the name. And then equals quotation 0. Okay, so now it should work. See, now there is a 0. So now that we have that, we'll get onto the numbers next. So to use the numbers, click on one of the numbers, like number 1, so that's easy. And we'll be using the if-else function. So to start, write if textbox1 dot text is equals to 0, then textbox1 dot text is equals to 1. Else textbox1 dot text is equal. Okay, there we go. So that's our code. So here's how this will work. If textbox1 dot text is equals to 0, then textbox1 dot text is equals to 1. So if this value is true, then it would make it into 1. That's how it works. If you click on the button and the value is 0, then that makes it true, so the number will appear. It will show number 1. And alright, so now let's see if it works. 1. There, it actually works. It works because the value was 0 before when you start it. The value is 0, so it makes the if condition true. That's why 1 works. And the else condition makes it add 1, 1, 1. So that's how it works. And basically you just do that with all the numbers. Just change the number here to 2, 3, 4, and so on. So use that with the other numbers. Number 2. So for button number 2, just copy the whole code including the end if, otherwise it wouldn't work. And just change the number to 2. There. Let's see if it works. 1, 2, 1. There. Now it works. Okay, so basically do that with the rest of the numbers. Make sure you're putting it in the right button. Alright, so now we're done with all the numbers. Let's check if it works. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, and 0. Okay, good. All the numbers work. So now that we're done with all the numbers, we have to get into the mathematical symbols now. And we're gonna start off with the decimal button. There is a dot there in case you couldn't see. So, and basically the code to it is actually very simple. So text box 1 dot text equals text box 1 dot text box 1 dot text plus a dot there. Very simple. It's very easy to understand. So so when you click on the button, it will add a dot to the text. So let's see if it works. There, 2.5. Okay, so now we have to make the symbols work, and there is an added step to that, but it's easy to understand. These buttons are gonna be the operation buttons, and to make them work, you have to go to the form code and go here, public class, and then enter, type dim first num as decimal and dim operation name as string. Alright, so what this does is writing it in public class makes this variable work for the whole code, and if you only write it in private sub, then the code would only work in this specific part, like only in this form, only on form 1. That makes first num as a variable, and making it as a decimal means that you can put any whole number, any number with the decimal, and any negative or positive number. And next we have dim operation name as string. So dim operation, so we need to create this so that we could use select case later. Okay, so basically just put that there in public class. And then next we're gonna make our operation buttons work now. So go to the plus button and then write first num. This is how we're gonna add a value to this variable, and then equals to the value of text box 1 dot text. Yeah. Oh, there should be no space in first num. It makes a difference, because if you put a space in it, then this variable wouldn't work. Also, operation name shouldn't have a space. There. Okay. The buttons still don't work, but this is how we get it to start to work. So when you press on the button, it will add a value to the variable first num, and then it would make textbox1.text blank, and then the operation name for it would be add. And this operation name is important so that we could use it later in select case. You'll see what I mean later. And now you just have to do that with every button, just the same code. Just change the name of the operation. And for the minus button, just do the same thing, but just change the name of the operation to minus. There we go. And then for division, same code, just change the name to div or divide. You know what, let's make it divide. And multiply. Alright, so now they have their operation name, and now when we click on the buttons, it adds a value to the variable. The next thing we have to do is make the equal button work. Okay, so click on the equal button and then write select case. This is where we use select case. Then operation name. Wow. Operation name. There we go. And then write a case. So the first case would be add. It has to be the same as the one you wrote in the operation name, because if there's any difference, the code wouldn't work. Alright, so that's it. Easy. So now let's see if the add button works. 7 plus 7 equals 14. There! So it works. With select case, it gathers all the tags within operation name, like multiply, divide, minus, and add, so that you don't have to create the code like this and even longer, because this is not, then you have to add the equal button for every button. Basically, this makes it easier and simpler. So select case. Next we have to put case minus. or subtract. You can name it whatever you want. So now, equal button should work. It's very simple. 7 plus 7, 14. 8 minus 7. Okay, yeah, it doesn't really work yet. 5 plus 5, 10. Minus 5, 5. Divided by 5, 1. Times 3, 3. So I did it like that because the erase button doesn't work yet. So I have to make the erase button work next. Now that all the operations button work, we have to make the erase button work. So click on AC, and this is very easy. Ha! See what I did there? Easy AC. All you have to do is just make textbox1.text blank. So don't put anything in the quotations. Now it should work. And there we go. Oh, did I do something wrong? Oh, I forgot to put equal. Okay, there we go. 7 plus 7. 14. Erase it. 5 minus 4. 1. Okay, so that means the rest work. Yay! The last thing we have to do is make the plus minus button work so that we could make the value negative if we have to. So to do that, okay, so apparently I forgot to write textbox1.text. So this is the code for how to make the plus minus button work. So it says that the value of textbox1.text, multiply it with -1, because any number that you multiply with -1 makes the current number negative. So let's see if it works. 7. There, it works. Great. So this is our finished product. We're already done. And you could also add some designs, like change the color, change the size of the font, or change anything in the properties down here. So just to make sure everything works, 7 plus 7 is 14. Erase. 2 minus 2, 0. 1 plus minus, it works. And also the decimal, 2.0 plus 3.5. There. So now it works. And it's up to you if you want to change any of the designs. And it's just that simple. Sorry, there's an error there. So if you want to change any of the design, you can just look here in the properties. Like for form 1, you can select on the button or the text box or the form itself, so you could change the color. Like change it to, I don't know, blue. There, you can change it. And also for the buttons, you can change to black, which makes you not able to see the number anymore. But yeah, you can just select all the buttons so that you don't have to change the color at once. Oops, that was the wrong button. There, good enough, yeah. So now all the numbers are visible, and yeah, that's how you do a calculator. So you can just design it, make it however way you want, make the color, and these are all the codes. So that's how you make a calculator in Visual Basic. I hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye!